All right, we should be live. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are back here, TBL Week 6 here in Season 12. Hope you are doing well. It is I, as always, your host, Fin, and I'm joined here by my co-host today, Alice. Alice, how are you doing on this beautiful weekend?
It's too early.
It is very early indeed, but you know what? We are knocking these out. I mean, technically, we're getting 5 of these matches done in less than 24 hours, so that is always uh, fun. But hopefully, some Pokemon will help wake you up if you're over out there in the EU, or if you're here in stateside. Nice way to start off the day before you get all the weekend underway. We have the Atlanta Talonflames taking on the Atlanta Victory Stars. The stateside battle, Atlanta versus Atlanta, should be a fun one. Talonflames currently coming in. They sit at the moment in fourth place in Violet. However, a solid win here could bump them up to tie for third place and be right in that playoff hunt. On the flip side, Playmaker, 11 points, good for second place in Scarlet, looking to get a win and match the Canadian Sacrilege so that they can stay tied for that first place spot. So it'll be really interesting to see. Plays in a good position where if a solid dominant win catapults them all the way into first place. So it'll be exciting to see. Taking a look at these teams, we've gone throughout the rosters a number of times this year. No need to dive into all of them. Two key changes I will call out for Playmaker on the Atlanta Victory Star side. They did make two transactions, dropping Araquanid and Virizion and picking up Terra Vaporeon and Primeape. Very interesting additions, but with that, let's go ahead and turn it over. Alice, what is standing out to you in this matchup? Any mons you like? Any?
Well, one thing I would like to say about that transaction is it's really good to pick up Primeape as a nice, cheap, offensive Pokemon
Yes.
because with Eviolite, it can actually live uh, equal, if not more, hits than a Annihilate can, and it still has access to Rage Fist, even if it's not Stab. So that is a really nice long-term plan for Playmaker to pick up. And yeah, it looks like it can come straight away into this team. Like it's unlike Annihilate, it's not weak to the ghost type attacks that will be coming in, but yet it can still throw some strong ghost type attacks back out. And it also resists dark while keeping defiant. And looking into this matchup, that's pretty notable into Pokemon like the Metagross, where the one thing that Metagross doesn't like is a Pokemon that gets stronger the more it gets hit. It's one of those Pokemon that likes to sit there and throw weaker but still strong hits back at you.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I agree. I do like the Primate bring here. Now, granted, I am running Annihilate, and so I love the Rage Fist sets. It's been very fun to get to use so far this year. And when the Rage Fist just starts building up, all it takes is one or two hits and living it, and Rage Fist just gets very terrifying very quick. And so Primate getting access to that's going to be very interesting. For the
Let's not
Talon,
forget it's also a Stealth Rock Pokemon that has a long term plan,
oh yeah,
which
it,
is
it
not something you see very often.
it is a cheap mon that you can get great use out of very consistently, and it has some versatility in terms of options. Taking a look at Talon side, I really am curious to see what this Hoopa is going to do. It was questioned whether or not this should have been allowed to Terra at the start of the season, but it is allowed to. It is here. It is a Terra captain, and I think it is a Mon that really is just terrifying here because you take a look at the Atlanta Victory Stars. You do have the Umbreon, you do have the Vaporeon, but it just nothing's really wanting to take potentially that much firepower from a base 160 attack. So can really just put in some major work. If they go physical, if they go special, you don't necessarily know, and you have to kind of plan around for both. Giving it the ability to Terra also gets rid of that quad weakness. So I think it, if played right, Talon will really let Hoopa just kind of go nuts here, and I think that's going to be one of the keys for this.
Field though, Cryogonal actually looks like it could put in work in this matchup.
It
Strong rapid
does.
spinner that can outspeed a Garchomp after a rapid spin, and gets both freeze dry and strong ice and other strong ice moves to hit the Garchomp and the Vaporeon pre-Terra.
Yeah, the only real thing that can consistently swap in on it is likely going to be the Cinderace or a defensive recovery uh, Umbreon.
I
Having
would
both,
argue the Cinderace is not as much of a switch in since it does get Agent Power.
yeah, that is true. It does get Ancient Power. Not going to do an insane ton, but it does also give you the free chance to get that boost. Let it go nuts. So it will be interesting to see. Um, but yeah, let me go ahead and just so that way you have it as well. Make sure you have Playmakers sets. And with that, I think we can go ahead and let the coaches know that they can search. Let me go ahead and ping them one moment. And then with
So looking at
this,
Playmaker sets, it looks like he's sticking with the 5 that have brought him the most success and keeping to that one flexi slot. Now, this is a strategy that we've seen Playmaker employ in past leagues, in past seasons, where he will draft 5 Pokemon that he's going to use as a core and then have one slot that is going to rotate amongst the rest of his roster, very rarely switching up the Pokemon he brings. And it does bring him quite a bit of success. However, it does also raise the question of at what point is that success going to run out? And I think we're going to see if he can keep up this run that he's been getting.
yeah, so right off the bat, like you called out, some interesting sets. Both Terra Captains for Playmaker coming in the Umbreon and Vaporeon, Corviknight, Cinderace, Necrozma, Garchomp. So really a very bulky team on Playmaker's side with recovery options. On the flip side, yeah, Atlanta Talonflames coming with a more offensive set with the Metagross, the Greninja, Sneasler, Entei, Hoopa. So it honestly kind of seems like we're getting a bit of an unstoppable force versus an immovable object. So I'll be curious to see who can outlast, but yeah, I'm really excited to see what the game plan is for these two.
I feel like we might see Playmaker lead off with Cinderace here.
I think that makes a lot of sense as well. Cinderace, its high speed stat, you just can reliably lead that U-turn worst case scenario. But instead, we see the Vaporeon nice and shiny come out as the lead this week up against the shiny Greninja. So kind of an interesting face off here. We see Taunt come out against the Vaporeon right away. Protean is revealed, going full dark type, no water type. So a Scald here will just hit neutrally. Instead, we see a flip turn, get a bit of damage off.
Not gonna lie, I feel like I would have preferred a Toxic Spikes there.
Yeah, I am a little curious what the thought of the taunt was. Vaporeon does get some great status moves. However, you don't necessarily expect any of them to get clicked first turn out unless you are fearing, say, a Calm Mind uh, type set where you need extra bulk setup. So curious what the game plan is here. I wouldn't be surprised if they are not wanting to necessarily get Toxic Spikes up because of the fear of court change, but no, we are just going to see that come out right here. Interesting enough, the Cinderace is running court change, but it is choice banded, not boots.
So there, you would have wanted a taunt up.
Yeah, and right off the bat, we see an Umbreon come out, and Umbreon elects to click the Thunder Wave. It misses, absolutely huge there.
I so seeing that there's Trick Room on this Hooper, I have to question: do you want to just switch Hooper in, run the risk of getting full powers, but halve your speed and guarantee you're the slowest thing?
Yeah, it's just too risky to do.
It does give you a free switch into on Thunderwave later, though.
It does. So interesting, electing to go into the Metagross, maybe anticipating Umbreon to hard swap, but foul play just free unless, I'm very curious what the thought was here. Because Metagross is not going to like this foul play. Like, swapping in on an Umbreon feels very questionable there to me.
I mean, you do have a whole resist back there.
Yeah, there were a number of alternative options potentially there, but yeah, Umbreon getting off huge damage with that foul play. Um,
Since you did bring up court change, they do actually have a poison type to soak up those toxic spikes should it happen.
without Terra.
Yeah, the Sneasler.
Oh yeah, sorry, you're talking about for Talon. Yes, it's just a question
Yeah,
of do you
I don't
want to
know.
be forced to, because it's an unburdened set, so having to force to swap in early may not necessarily be ideal. But Umbreon right off the bat picking up the first kill of the match, not something you often see, but staying in and getting the big damage off on the Metagross, absolutely huge for a start here.
Sacred Fire would halve the damage that foul play is doing.
Well, you have to remember the taunt was just shaken off, so whatever you bring in here does run the risk of potentially taking a Thunder Wave. So you need to keep that in mind here. I almost wonder if you need to go back into the Greninja just to make sure you get that taunt up. It does then kind of become a little bit of a debate around, reading. Do you just click foul play? Do you swap out? But instead, we see the Meloetta come in here, and this does have Relic Song to switch to hyper offensive. But I think Umbreon's just going to stay in, click Thunder Wave, and really just kneecap this thing's speed. So kind of interesting to see here. So we see the Relic Song come out, not going to deal a ton, but it is going to switch to its more offensive fighting form. Umbreon is going to run Thunder Wave, and oh my gosh, that is another miss. That is two 10% misses from the Umbreon. Playmaker has to be absolutely frustrated and furious. And that's absolutely huge, because without Terra, this Umbreon could now just die to a close combat here.
Play kind of needs to train his Umbreon better. Clearly.
Honestly, you hate to see it. I once proposed to Godbear, like, hey, what are your thoughts on if we took, and made a new Pokemon stat where it's basically how much, hacks comes into it. Like, oh, I've trained it up and put IVs into, skills so that way you're less likely to miss or more likely to get secondary effects. Godbear immediately hated the idea, said I'm a demon man for even suggesting such a thing. But we see the Terra come out, likely anticipating the close combat, wanting Umbreon to live and really kneecap this Meloetta. So close combat was clicked, Terra was revealed, and I think this Umbreon should live this quite comfortably. Oh yeah, it shakes that off. Do we see a third Thunderwave miss? No, we see Roar. Interesting enough. Goes for the Roar there instead, revealing another move on the set.
And there is now a poison type to soak up those toxic spikes.
Yeah,
you could go into Fortnite and back into it.
Yeah. Absolutely does provide some help there. And I think at this point, you can kind of safely click Trick Room.
I mean, you don't like the foul play coming in, though.
You don't, but at the same time, because you know that play is needing to get rid of those toxic spikes and also wanting to preserve this Umbreon, you've got a Psychic type that normally outspeeds here. So you don't necessarily want to stay in. So I'm anticipating a hard swap into the Corviknight. If I am Talon. And I think that's exactly what we're going to see here. Corviknight comes in, and I am a little curious why the Hyperspace Fury. Only because that's a physical move. The rest of your moves that you've got here are all special. Oh, Gunk Shot's physical. Yeah, it's just, I'm wondering, what do you have here that can really touch
so there is something that Talon did tell me beforehand that he has a plan with that Hyperspace Fury. And I'm not sure if I should reveal it yet.
So we are going to see the Terra pop out. This will do about 50% to the Corviknight. This Corviknight is running Light Clay and Reflect, so the damage will get reduced relatively quickly. Hyperspace Fury outspeeding in the Trick Room, doing some
Just a
major damage. And there is the reflect. So without a crit, I don't think that Hyperspace Fury will be able to kill now. And so
it might be a little bit.
Yeah,
that did around 50, 60, so.
Yeah. On a high roll, Hyperspace Fury was doing 67%. If you throw in Reflect, it's not doing enough to get the kill. A crit would have been required. Roost does come off anyway, however, so Corviknight back near to full. And that's kind of the interesting thing here so far, is we've seen a lot of plays out of Talon, but it feels like nothing has really had a major lasting impact so far, just because of the bulk that play side has, able to recover a lot of it away.
I think Talon's trying to work out if the Umbreon's going to come back in here.
We see the U-turn. Remember, Trick Room is up, so the Corviknight is outspeeding play, taking advantage of that, clicking a very safe U-turn. Now we are going to see, I think you're right, likely a Vaporeon coming in here, since Entei, normally a Terra Captain, cannot Terra, as it's already been done by the...
Talon is going to be upset here, because they were considering clicking Stomping Tantrum. But they do get the burn, so they can't be too upset.
Yeah, absolutely huge. Synchronize does attempt to pop off. Will not work in this case, but important to note, because the Umbreon came back in, those Toxic Spikes are gone. So no more hazards on Playmaker's side of the field. And I believe there's one more turn of Trick Room up, so I think this Umbreon's going to be able to safely click a Moonlight here and recover.
Bulldoze alongside Trick Room is a very interesting move choice here. Opting for Bulldoze over Stomping Tantrum.
I almost wonder if you go hard into your Hoopa Unbound here, because you know the Moonlight's going to come out. Trick Room will then end, and maybe you can catch the Corviknight on a switch pivot. Because that Stomping Tantrum is not going to do much, especially when you factor in the Reflect that's currently up. So really a rough position here. This Umbreon just looking to do whatever it wants. You can go Hoopa, but the combination between the Umbreon and the Corviknight really makes it rough, just because Corviknight can recover off anything that Hoopa wants to do to Umbreon, and Umbreon can recover off anything that is wanting to happen to the Corviknight. So a really good synergy here from the two out of play. As long as he can keep those two healthy, I think it's going to be a very annoying situation, especially because this Umbreon still has Thunder Wave that it can use at most any point. Instead, electing to go for a second Moonlight, getting back up to near full. Now, the question here is, do you anticipate the taunt and hard swap into something?
I almost feel like just go Hydro Pump here.
It's kind of a game of reads. I don't agree with the Toxic Spikes just because they've already shown that, hey, I can cycle through and get rid of these. It's not going to be an issue. I agree. I think you either need to click... Ooh, almost misclick there. I agree. I think you either need to click... Actually, I don't mind Dark Pulse here. Dark Pulse is free now that Umbreon's Terra'd. There is no Dark Resist. Vaporeon is going to come in. Haunt what was selected.
That was likely a read on what I was also thinking with the Hydro Pump.
Yeah, with the Vaporeon up, I just don't think Hydro Pump is going to be a safe thing that you can click. Dark Pulse, in terms of offensive moves, is just your safest. There's no resist to it. Nothing can really swap in effectively. I would anticipate we're going to see a Dark Pulse get some damage off here. Decent chunk of change. But a Flip Turn is what I'm guessing just going to come out, and that's exactly what happens.
I don't think you can afford to let your ninja take too much chip.
Yeah, and the
Because you might.
unfortunate part is the life orb damage you're taking every turn as well.
Yeah. I almost feel like he has to swap this Greninja out ASAP.
Depending on what comes in, I am absolute agreement.
It's feeling like the end game here is going to be, can you get enough chip on the Necrozma for your Sneasler to sweep? So we see the Umbreon come back in.
I
Okay,
don't
goes
agree
for
with the toxic spikes here, just because Corviknight can come in with no issues, and now I think a Thunder Wave's just getting clicked. And nope, electing to go for the foul play. So
with the
toxic
reflect
spikes.
one. I don't see what's stopping play from just going back into Corby.
We see a big flinch there. That's actually kind of huge. Now we see the taunt come out. Do we see another foul play? Nope. So good round of damage there. And now I think once again, Dark Pulse is kind of free. Maybe
That
you're
looks like
hoping to
Dark.
catch the Corviknight coming in.
That looks like Dark Pulse range.
Alexa, stay in. Do we see another flinch? Nope. Goes for
That
the
must
foul
be
play.
from there.
Gets the crit. Now, here's the interesting thing. This Greninja can only get off one more attack. So do you go just for the Dark Pulse here? But I feel like be an insane read, but you go into the Entei anticipating the Corviknight to be the swap in. Would be an insane read.
I think that is the best play.
Yeah, because there's no way you let this Umbreon go down here.
And it's still taunted, so...
Yeah, the risk versus reward is on your side.
I mean, even foul play is not going to do too much because of the burn.
Yeah.
The only real drawback is if the Vaporeon comes in, which I highly doubt is going to happen because you don't want it to get poisoned.
Yeah. Corviknight's the only thing that logically makes sense here. I think Entei is a play. I can see the thought process for the Sneasler, but instead Alexa go into the Meloetta.
I don't understand this play. I'm not going to pretend to understand this play.
Yeah, because there's the Corviknight. Sacred Fire there would have been absolutely threatening, and now you're forced to swap out anyway. I don't get why the Meloetta. It felt like Play's options were extremely limited without getting severely punished, and so you could kind of take advantage of that and make the read and say, hey, I know you have to go to Corviknight. I'm going to punish you for doing the only thing you can do. Maybe hoping, I don't know.
I don't think you hard swap it. I think you have to U-turn. But opts to not get the chip off. Did we see Rocky Helmet earlier? I don't remember
No,
seeing
it is not Rocky Helmet. It is Light
No, it's
Kite.
yeah.
And now
So,
it's just up for free. I unfortunately
I
think
know
that
you
was a mistake there. Like, honestly, at that point, I would have just gone for the Relic Song with the Serene Grace and hope for the 20% sleep chance at that point.
There's that too, yeah. Like there were many options beyond hard switching.
Now, there is one upside here. You can't really afford to go into the Umbreon unless you're willing to let it die. And that's exactly what happens.
Okay.
So they go in, get rid of the toxic spikes. Now, important to note, Stomping Tantrum is going to do double damage. I don't think at this range that matters, though.
I think
Or
if I'm
Bull-
Playmaker,
It's
like
Bulldoze on
I
Stomping
live
Tantrum. Never mind.
switch out. Playmaker opts to just let the Umbreon go down. That
Yeah.
means the next time spikes go up, they're up.
Unless the
you
Cinderace is going to click the court change, but then Cinderace at the very
Yeah.
least will be poisoned. So, but one of the key mons in the wall going down, a little bit of fortunate luck on place or on not plays on Talon's side with that between the flinch and a few other things. So definitely Play is still in a very good position in spite of all the unfortunate RNG so far between the multiple Thunderwave misses, the flinch. We see the Garchomp come out. It's going to Swords Dance. That's kind of bold in front of a Mon you just saw use Will-O-Wisp.
On the flip side, it does nullify the attack drop.
Oh, we see a Lumberry come out, so everyone's favorite loaded dice set is not here, and now Earthquake's gonna likely just kill. So honestly, huge play there out of Playmaker saying, hey, I know what you want to do. You're either wanting to swap to preserve this thing, or you're wanting to burn me. Either way, I'm prepared for it. So aggressive play from Playmaker. Goes for the scale shot. Lands 3. Do we see a 4th?
They need 5 to kill.
Does not get it. They are going to see the speed go down. Now, this is interesting. If they would have gone for a Will-O-Wisp,
Instead, they go for the Bulldoze, which is going to drop its speed back down to neutral.
Yeah. So at +2, neutral speed. This is kind of unfortunately where it gets rough, though. You're guaranteed to die here. So you're basically having to hope for the scale shot miss, which is not going to happen. It's now at +1 speed, and this Garchomp, it could be in a position to just sweep here. Now, important to note, anything that can potentially live a hit is going to be doing, if it's physical attacking, is going to be doing twice the damage because Garchomp here is -2 defense. So it's really going to be a question, can anything live the +2 hit? And unfortunately, Meloetta is not in its form that's needed. So you
also the question of the reflect as well, because can you kill through the reflect?
Well, with the quad, if they would have landed triple axle, I think it would have helped. But unfortunately, it's not going to matter in this case. Garchomp, I think, is in a position now to just kind of steamroll and pick up 5 kills here.
No ice beam on this thing, so even if it
if it did outspeed. Yeah, this Garchomp, it's a roll and nothing stopping it here. And that is a huge win. Is that actually is going to put Playmaker into sole possession of first place, I believe, with 3 points off this win. And that is a 5-0 victory for Play as a result.
So now I was going to say before the game started, fake out normal gem would have been really clutch in this game if they had
And we are joined by both coaches.
Hello, hello.
Well, the prep was horrible.
It's all right, dude. No worries, man.
I mean, in all fairness, the taunt stuff worked, so that was fun.
Worked. Taunt stuff did work.
I did not know Corviknight got reflect.
Yeah, it gets both screens actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried prepping around a lot of your defensive core, like the Terra Dark Unbound Hoopa play. What kind of set was your Necrozma, if you don't mind me asking?
I was max phys def, max HP.
Bold?
Bold, yeah.
19% chance I OCO you.
Yeah, I mean that thing is like Terra Dark Hoopa is just like insane when it comes to like just clicking hyperspace fury. So yeah,
And truthfully, in all fairness, that first turn, I was like, I feel like he's gonna calm mine on my face because I was either Toxic Spikes turn 1 or Taunt, and I chose the wrong T.
fair enough, dude. But I mean, you still got me on a couple of those taunt plays, though. So like, kudos.
Yeah, because and also it helped that Umbreon was not wearing glasses today.
Oh my god, dude, that thing was blinder than Stevie Wonder.
Well, no, Alice will like this. It's blinder than a Chi-Yu with choice specs when it clicks Heat Wave in a VGC match.
Oh my gosh, Umbreon was on your team today, by the way. I don't know what was going on with that thing.
Can confirm I've missed my fair share of heat waves. Normally it's Torkoal though.
Yeah, I was like racking my brain on stuff. Like, yeah, the reflect threw me for a loop.
Mm-hmm.
But like, the team that I had, like, I'll be honest, like with some of the stuff, like I had Shucka Berry on Metagross so I could hit it with Ice Punch. In return,
Mm-hmm.
I had White Herb Sneasler because at +2 close combat, still did good damage into Corviknight. And then I get the White Herb proc, and then here's the real crazy thing. +2 Gunk Shot Oko's Necrozma.
Really? Like if it was like a bold set?
Oh wait, hold on. Oh wait, no, it does 90%. I prepped it around like some of your like faster builds, like the Dragon Dance set.
Right. Okay.
But if you actually didn't have any bulk, like defensive bulk, but just max HP and bold, 87.5% chance with Gunk.
That's still pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, like the things I had on my mind, like I had Bulldoze on Entei to try to handle Scale Shot Chomp, and in fairness, I kind of needed a Scale Shot miss there to have a chance. Great Will-O-Wisp, great Lumberry, by the way.
Appreciate it.
And honestly, it was just once I got rid of Umbreon, I just didn't have enough pieces to keep it close. And to Finn's delight, I don't have that streak anymore.
The 1-0 streak, dude. I'm sorry, dude.
It's not my delight. I've enjoyed it. I like records being set. Unless they're me and my losing streak in playoff. That one doesn't need to be set.
But see, if the streak had continued, it would have came to our game for me to break it. So, what would you have liked better? For you to end the streak, or the streak to be over before you have a chance to break it?
I would have just been happy to be part of history. Listen, being a footnote in history is still being in history. But
yeah, I mean, I definitely, I feel like I could have played it a little better. Truth, I mean, the fact that we both brought pressure mons too, like that was kind of funny.
Yeah, no, I was thinking that the same thing actually. I brought pressure like specifically just to like run down Sacred Fire PP, and so I was like, okay, yeah, like if I can get up a reflect and then just keep restalling, then maybe he won't even notice that he's out of PP.
We do have one question for you, Talon. What was the thought process behind switching into Meloetta instead of Entei? On the Umbreon, yeah.
To be honest, I was trying to get the Relic song, maybe get a 20% sleep, try to stall out more turns of Reflect, and hope that Corviknight just
Reflect was
continues to
gone.
nap. Yeah, then I was still going for the sleep, and then I'd switch an Entei and go for Sacred Fire on that next turn.
Gotcha, because you didn't even click the Relic song. You swapped in and immediately hard swapped into Entei. Because this is the turn where Umbreon was near death, and Corviknight was kind of telegraphed to come in, so that way they could pivot, get rid of T-Spikes, because Umbreon was basically a flinch away from death, and Taunt was still up. So the only option was either die, foul play, or switch into most likely Corviknight.
Yeah, yeah. To be honest, I did think that he was going to just let Umbreon faint there. So I figured, let me get Meloetta in and change to Pirouette form, so I could at least do some damage with close combat.
Gotcha. So you were making the play anticipating Umbreon to get sacked.
Yeah, I was like, truthfully, my whole strategy. And did Cinderace have heavy duty boots?
No.
I did have court change.
It did have court change though, but it didn't have boots.
Yeah.
It was choice band court change, which I do like.
See, I am still so hesitant on sets like those, where it's like a choice item and it's 3 attacks, like status move. I am so, like, me personally, I'm just so apprehensive to doing stuff like that, because it just feels so wrong to do, and then it works, and you're just like, God damn, I'm a genius. But yeah, no, I should have just that first turn. I should have went Toxic Spikes. I put Umbreon on a timer. I put basically everything on a timer, then except.
Yeah, because if you do that with the flip turn, I don't think Umbreon's what comes in. If I'm guessing right play.
Yeah, it wouldn't. I'd probably just go into like Corviknight or something, and then go from there.
Yeah, and then just trying to play around a lot of stuff. Like, I mean, I prepped around the Clefable as well. I kind of prepped around Raikou. For a lot of stuff that I knew that you were capable of running, the Scale Shot Guard Chomp was kind of a formality. It was just, I didn't know if Swords Dance was coming, and then like you said, or like I said, the Lumberry was a great play, so that way you don't get burned. But yeah, I think what threw me off was that Reflect Corviknight. Like, once I saw the screen go up, I was like, oh shit. And sorry again, Finn. Find me for that one.
It'll be taken out of your next paycheck. The league is not happy. But no,
yeah. Once I saw that Reflect, I was just like, well, I don't have. I had Sandy Shocks on the team until the 11th hour, and
Dang.
Wow, Sandy Shocks would have been great in this battle.
It would have been, yeah.
I also feel like normal gem would have been great on the Sneasler.
I consider the normal gem, but I really just wanted to get that Swords Dance close combat white herb proc, because once that got procced, then Gong Shot does stupid damage to everything except the Necrozma. I had Fire Punch for the Corviknight, of which the fact that it's Reflect means it was probably max bulk 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, Sneasler at +2 with that Corviknight. CC would have done 75 to 88. And actually, no. Oh, now I remember why I did that. I deliberately wanted you to bring Corviknight in on the Swords Dance, go for Brave Bird. I click close combat. I get the defense drop, and then the white herb comes out, because this is my mentality. I get that proc. you only have a 6% chance to OHKO my Sneasler because I'm a fairly bulky FizzDef Sneasler with the
Oh, cool.
attack.
Nice.
But you knock yourself out to the recoil damage.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I take out that piece, and then it's a matter of I have the unburden. Then I mean you're the scale shot guard shot, so close combat OHKO. So like it would have been like putting you in a little bit of a interesting predicament if that had went the way that I was hoping.
Yeah. No, I mean definitely that I would have not expected a FizzDef Sneasler, so that's a pretty cool bring. But yeah, very cool. I think in response to that, I probably would have just brought in like Necrozma or something, and then yeah, it would have just been like, you know, again we were talking about like the gunk shot stuff from before, so.
Of course, I'd be banking on a 80% accurate move, and if I'm already complaining about a 90% accurate move to somebody who used a 90% accurate move on me, why should I be talking about an 80?
Oh man, yeah, it you know, it's like, you know, like theory mons, and you know, if we can land our moves on like Umbreon, so.
Yeah, I mean, I still believe that I came in with a good, like, I'm not trying to like discredit myself or whatever, like how Finn and Gold have said, like I'm actually playing a lot better than I have. I mean, outside of this game, which again it was just a guard chomp that ran wild. I mean, Finn, are you playing a piano in the background?
No, but there is a piano music on the stream going.
Ow! Why the piano?
It's just part of a Zelda and Chill playlist that does not get hit by the copyright claims because it's all Nintendo music, so it just goes through with no issue for background music.
Yeah, I have a whole different mentality about that piano plus a guard chomp.
Yeah, that's right. I did not play that song. I have not played that for play so far.
But yeah, I mean, going into it, like, again, Finn would agree. I've been playing a lot better than I normally have. Like these builds, I mean, yeah, some of these builds are a little more unorthodox, even for me. But the fact that they're giving you guys good battles, that's all I care about. Like, I mean, the fact that also you said you were choice banned Cinderace means you were probably max speed. Greninja was always 1 point faster.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's like it's. I'm proud of myself that I'm having these like good strategies and good identification.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's just not translating to wins, which it happens. And if you really want me to be truly honest with you guys,
we don't. But go ahead.
I built this team last night because I've been a Pokopia addict for the last week and a half.
Okay, how do you like Pokopia?
It's actually really fun. Like, of all the things that, like, I'll be honest, when I first saw the game, when I first heard the game, I thought, yeah, I'm probably not gonna like this. I'm not gonna like this. It's not my cup of tea. Because it's like a Pokemon Animal Crossing. I never got into Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
I have friends who went to EUIC.
Yeah.
And Alice is one of them, but other than Alice, other friends of mine, including a really popular anime creator. He played Pokopia. One of our friends who's a moderator for him, he played Pokopia. They, like, every single review from somebody who played it there, it was all unanimous. It's like, this game is incredible. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, I appreciate the positive opinions. You know, there's a part of me that was also like, Well, one of them is approved to be a creator by Pokemon, which I am gonna try to go for on my own right. Once Champions comes out, I'm literally gonna go hardball on that. I actually just had a video on YouTube. I'm almost at 2,000 views on it. I've never had a video hit 2,000 views before. But then Pokemon Day came out, and I didn't play. I don't know about Alice, but I'll ask Alice too. Did you guys ever play the Call of Duty games?
I did. I don't play on Xbox very often, but I babysat for kids that played Call of Duty, so I got into it through them.
And Finn and play?
Yeah, I played.
I played it like way back in the day. I haven't played any recent Call of Duty.
Do you guys remember a game mode called Prop Hunt?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
When I saw that they had like a style of Prop Hunt in the game, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. Like that's starting to like entice me a little bit more, but I'm still on the fence. Then all the aggregator reviews come out. 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 4 out of 5, 5 stars, 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 9 out.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? This is getting to the first Joker movie levels of unanimous praise.
Right?
And I was like, even back then, when that movie got the praise it got, I was like, okay, now I got to go see this movie.
Okay.
And yeah, it was worth
Joker
it.
was great. Joker 1 was great.
Yeah. Joker Folia Adu was horrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've literally been playing it nonstop to the point where all 4 of us will fall victim to this. We all had a Game Boy. We all had a DS. We all stayed up until midnight playing the game under our bed sheets.
Yeah.
Oh, midnight? I was up till 3 a.m., my friend. Like, come on now.
Yeah. Midnight was rookie numbers.
Well, I'm using midnight as like a light barrier.
Fair.
Light barrier.
I got you.
But in the case of Playmaker, he plays until 3 a.m. and then has a Krabby Patty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy, 3 a.m.
Real quick, since we are moving away from Pokemon in general, gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I appreciate everyone. Talon play, appreciate the match. No, not the result you're looking for, but great way to start off the Saturday with Pokemon. All those with the stream, appreciate you joining us today. As always, we look forward to you. We've got one more match tomorrow around the same time of day. That'll be Boston Red Rocks taking on the London Shockwaves. So please be sure to tune in and come back for that one. But in the meantime, as you go throughout your week, whatever you're doing in life, just have fun with it. We appreciate you all, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.
Bye.